ఛార్జింగ్
డైరెక్ట్ పవర్ ఇచ్చేస్తారు.
అది తేలేను అందులో వస్తాయి కదా ఏమంటారు అంటే లైక్ పవర్ని కంట్రోల్ చేస్తుంది చూడు.
And also it will just capture all of your movements, and by the end of the session you will get the
UPS లాంటిదే.
feedback as
ఆ
well.
యూపీఎస్
So that's how you can improve yourself. Thank you.
అంటే కొంచెం కంట్రోల్ అవుతుంది కదా.
So we have 4 founders
Bro.
here
అరే వినయ్
who have
Did
given
it
their
happen?
ideas, right?
ఇది పట్టుకో,
I
కెమెరా
want
పట్టుకో.
to know if you are an investor. Let us say I have given you
Put it
1
like in the
CR for each one of you. Whom do you invest?
ఆ మేడం మీద ఇట్లా ఒకసారి టచ్ చేయి.
Yes.
సాల్ బతికేస్తుంది. సాల్ ఒక్కసారి
Whom do you invest?
ఇంకా డోర్లు క్లోజ్ అయిపోయా.
See, I have given you 1 CR and I am asking you to take a decision. Right? You are not spending anything from your pocket. Yes or no? Right? So whom do you invest? So we have 4 founders here and I am asking you to invest. So whom do you invest? And remember, when you say somebody, you have to even justify why you want to invest on them. Can anyone come forward for that? So you don't know how to spend your money.
I want to invest in nanochip because I don't want to carry these laptops and mobile phones. I feel very heavy to carry all these things. So it will make our life easy. On Pro.
Any other?
I think I will invest in this level. First one.
First one. Okay. Sweets. Right. Why you want to invest on it?
I think the diabetics is the one of the most problem in India, and the product has the minor calories, so it will reduce the calorie intake and it will keep people healthy.
Okay. Have you understood from his page? Have you understood what is the market size for it? Yesterday we have discussed about market size, right? So have you got any inputs on market size so that you are taking the right decision? How do you justify your decision? Right? Yes? Speak on something.
Business to customer.
It's a business to customer. But did you talk about how many customers do you have?
Total addressable market is 1.4 billion because 1.4 billion people are diabetic in India and more than 1.5 billion are pre-diabetic. So it is our time.
He told his TAM, but did he talk about his profitability?
No.
No, then? Even that is important. See, when you invest, are you doing it for expecting any returns of it? Or you will just give him the money and tell him you use whatever way you want? Or are you expecting any stake in it?
For sure.
Definitely you will expect some stake, right? Any other? Yeah.
Same man, artificial sugar.
Sugar. Any other? Yes.
I will invest in AI, dance AI. So there is a number of AI like a song generating AI, and we need now dance AI also. Choreographing a dance. So I will invest 50 lakhs for it, but you need to say for me what is your target customer? Who is your target customer?
Have you made an assessment on target customers?
Yeah, it could be early stage learners and mostly
నన్నే ఫోకస్
students
చేస్తాను
are
మేము
our
చేద్దాం
target
అనుకుంటున్నాం
audience. Because students who have and they will be the more curious persons to learn at very young stage.
How you are going to approach in that?
One minute, I think there is one more thing also to talk about. Somebody there wants to ask.
I will be doing it in because it is a B2G and government is also improving the infrastructure of the English. So you can get
Is it B2G you said?
and it is also helpful for environment. So I will
What is the problem you will make? So I think we have set a tone. What is the essence of current session? What I'm going to handle. Okay. So when I asked these four kids to come here and explain about their venture, they spoke about it. They spoke about the novelty of it, but they did not inform you what would be the market size, what are the revenue models, how they are going to generate the profit, right? Yes or no? But still, we have come to a conclusion. That's not the right decision. Because why I'm insisting on this is today you might be here, but tomorrow you might be on a panel where you are going to invest, or you might be in a panel where you are going to pitch. So either way, you should know two important things whenever you are going to invest or whenever you are going to ask for investment. So does it need a common platform where both of them have an understanding on what the business is all about? Right? So that it will be easy for the investor to understand what the inventor is doing, and at the same time, inventor is also clear about why he is asking money. Yes or no? So that is where business Canva model comes into picture. It's a kind of one-page document. See, you don't have to explain your entire process. You don't have to explain the entire features of your product. You should be able to convince the investor saying that this is what my product is and this is what the profit I get. These are my revenue channels. This is the profit. These are the customer segment. This is my unique value. So if you are able to tell all these things in 1 minute, remember pitch decks happen only for a minute. And within that minute, you should be able to convince your investor saying that this is the purpose of which I'm asking for money. So unless and until we know what is business Canva model, we will not be able to do that. So shall we understand about what a business Canva model and what are the components in it and how do we fill all of them? Is it essential? Is the tone set? Shall we try to understand what a business Canva model is? Yes? So by the end of this session, we try to explain what a business model is and why it is important. We will list out 9 blocks which are very important, and we try to see how these 9 blocks have to be filled, right? And explain lean approach and how it helps the venture creation process also. And create your own business model using lean canvas model. So by the time as an inventor, if you fill all these 9 blocks, you will have clear-cut clarity on what your business is all about, how you are going to make the process, whom you are targeting, and what are your revenue channels, and how you are making a profit out of it, right? At the same time, using these 9 blocks, you are also giving input even to the investor saying that this is my business model, right? So now let us try to understand what this is. So these are the 9 components. Can you read out what are all there? You have key activities, you have key partners, value proposition, then customer relation, who are your customers, what is the cost of it, key resources which are involved, and then the channels through which you reach out to the market, and finally your revenue model. So this is how it looks like. In fact, you even have this as an activity. We will see each one of these components one after the other. So it is a tool which helps to validate all your assumptions, reduce the risk of failure, improve the communication and alignment between both investor and the requester, and also it has the ability and agility, right? So these are the 9 components. Please make a note of it as well. The first component, what you are supposed to fill, is your problem statement. You can use just 3 sentences to mention what your problem is all about. So you should know how to frame your problem statement. You cannot write a paragraph there. Within 3 lines, using appropriate keywords, you should be able to define your problem statement. Right? Can anyone define good problem statement? I think you all have done activity 1. So what is the problem statement? What is the problem statement? Okay. Can you give a problem statement for Uber? What is the problem statement for Uber?
Availability of bikes or
Anyone can define problem statement for Uber?
Hello. Picks up and drops people at their desired location within time.
Pick up and drop from point A to point B, from anywhere to anywhere, at
People
optimal cost.
Okay.
Right? So, is it conveying you what it is going to solve? So you don't have to write a very big statement there. You write, but that statement should reveal what exactly your application is doing. So the moment I write, pick up and drop anywhere, anytime, with optimal cost. It's a clear statement, right? It says that this is the problem that I'm going to solve, right? The second important thing is the customer segment. So you should tell who are going to be the customers of that particular application. So for Uber, who are the customers? Who are the customers? Any passenger of any age, right? From anywhere, right? Is that clear? Suppose if I say, who are the customers for Cadbury chocolate? Is it the same? No. Suppose if I develop a solution which is a reminder for medicine, who are the customers? Patients could be right from 0 age to 100 plus. Adults. All adults? All elders? I said my application is a reminder to give at what time you are supposed to take your medicine. My application is done. So who are your valid customers? All senior citizens? Not necessarily.
injured or disease.
Can I say all injured and deceased citizens? No?
Mentally disordered.
Can that be true? All mentally disorders, yeah, to some extent, right? Only part of it. And the niche segment is the patients who are suffering with Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's? People keep forgetting, right? So that is the actual targeted segment of customers. Who would be my secondary customers? Who would be my secondary customers?
Off current area.
So they all fall under my secondary segment, but primary segment was people with Alzheimer's,
Off
right?
current అయితే రాదు కదా.
So that should be.
ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ రాదు కదా. ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ రాదు కదా.
Sir.
Hello?
Yeah. So that is what you're going to fill under customer segment. Okay. Third component is the solution. So we have seen in the last session that for any problem that we have identified, we will be listing out n number of solutions and we will be selecting only one solution out of all of them based on what? Based on some criteria. What was the criteria we said? Is that feasible to develop? Is there a technology to develop the solution? Right? Is it cost effective? So we have some metrics. So based on applying all those metrics, we try to find one possible solution. So what is that solution you are proposing? That you are going to write under solution. Right? And then finally, you have unique value proposition. So what is that unique value proposition? What is unique value proposition? What is the novelty in your solution? That is what you will talk here. It is not the novelty in the problem statement you have identified. You will be writing what? The novelty that you are going to give in solution. That is what you will write in this particular segment. Then fifth is the channels. These are the channels through which you are trying to reach out to all the customers. Can you list out all possible channels? What are the possible channels through which you can reach out to the targeted customers? Can you rely on only one channel? What are the possible channels? Advertisement. Okay. Social media. Fine. Then what kind of promotions do you use? Where? Instagram and Facebook. Okay. Inka. How many customers you will reach out? So you should know at what stage, what would be the right channel you can publicize about your solution. Suppose, say for instance, Lay's has released a new flavor of chips. What would be the right place for it to introduce that product? Where? In newspaper. Why not in newspaper? Kids will not see the newspaper. What is the other alternative? Games. See, kids are addicted to play games, right? While they are playing, if you interrupt and show a pop-up, right, saying that this is a new flavor of chips that is into the market, did they get attracted? Yes. Can I publish that in news articles in between? If I give an ad, will it work out? Then where it does work out? Cartoon channels, right? So you should know what is the right means to reach out to the target audience. You should know who are your target audience and what would be the channels that would be viewed by that target audience, and that is where you have to reach out to them, right? So what are those channels you will be using? Why is this important? Why is this important? Will it cost? Will it cost? So you should know. If I am saying that these are my channels through which I reach out to my customers, you can make an estimate of what would be the cost of marketing. That is the reason you have to list out what channels you are going to use. Right? Next, sixth one is cost structure. What do you mean by cost structure? What all components comes into picture? When I say I want to build this solution, what is the cost structure of it? What are your costs? What is the cost structure? What components does it include? Yes? Fixed cost and variable cost. What is fixed cost? What is fixed cost? What is fixed cost? Amount spent on
The amount spent on a particular product to manufacture means from raw material to the manpower.
correct? The amount spent on manufacturing the product from the raw material. Can that fall as a fixed cost? No? Then what is that? What is the cost structure? You have fixed and also variable. Yes, please.
Amount spent on land, machineries, which are fixed, that is called fixed cost.
So the amount that is spent on land, right, and also on machinery. Will every product need all of them? So fixed cost depends on what is the type of product you are going to develop. If it is a software product, let us say, I might need an office premises, right? I might need laptops or systems. I might need some licenses for AI tools. Okay? So these are all mandate, right? Now, what about variable cost? What all fall under variable cost? Yes? What are the variable costs? Yes, please.
Cost of raw materials and wages for the workers.
Cost of raw material and wages to the workers. Good. Anything else to be included in that? Anything else to be included? Transport of? Okay, so transport cost. Maybe getting the raw material and selling our product. Right. Anything else? Marketing. Right. Anything else? Sales. Right. Income? Manufacturing cost or operational cost, right? So, any venture will have two kinds of expenses. So, you have to define what should be the cost structure of it, what goes under fixed cost and what goes under operational cost. We usually call it as capex and opex. Capex talks about the capital assets that you're going to build while you're spending. Okay? Opex talks about what is the operational cost. It includes the wages that you're giving, right? The marketing that you're doing or go-to-market strategy, some research that you're going to do. See, I might have come up with some product, but I felt that there is change in the demands of the customer. So I keep researching and try to modify my product as well. So whatever is the cost that goes in, even that has to be considered. And sometimes I even give some benefits to the regular customers. So what is that it costs me? All these falls under your strategies of fixing your operational cost. So you should know what would be your cost structure. So you have to display what is the key cost components in the manufacturing of your solution and selling that product. Okay. Next, revenue streams. What does it mean? Revenue streams. From where you are going to earn money. How are you going to earn money? What all channels do you have? See, sometimes the revenue channel need not be only one. You might have multiple revenue channels. For example, today I have sold a Bosch washing machine. That is my direct revenue. What are my indirect revenues? Service, right? Any other? Huh? Repair cost. Okay, spares. Okay, spares. Spares, whenever I sell my spares, I get an indirect revenue. Any other? Electricity bill is again your expenses. What is my indirect revenue? Yes. Interest earned. Interest, from where do you get interest?
if मतलब कि अगर कुछ लेफ्ट ओवर मनी अपने पास है तो उसको अगर हम लॉन्ग टर्म फंड्स में अगर इन्वेस्ट करें लाइक डेट फंड
So whatever profit you are earning, you are trying to push it into FDs, and whatever interest you gain,
yeah,
right? Okay. You are building your indirect assets, and through assets also you try to. Still good. Anything else? Demand is more, so I give franchise or I appoint dealers who will sell my product. So will you simply give dealership to anybody? No. What is that you do? You again do it on some cost. To give dealership to anybody, I charge them. So these are all possible indirect revenue channels, right? So you should clearly mention what are your revenue channels, what is your direct revenue channel and what is your indirect revenue channel. Clear? So that is also one of the important aspects that you have to project. And then key metrics. That is how you are going to define the performance of your product. Because unless and until I say that this is how I measure my success or business, whether it is in progression or it is not, right? So how do you define it? What are the key metrics? Will you talk in terms of number of units sold? Or will you talk in terms of conversions? That is, I do marketing, I reach out to 1,000 people, and out of 1,000 people, I say that 100 are being successfully onboarded or converted to buy my product, right? So how do you measure? Because that will help you to define your strategies relating to whether you are doing marketing rightly or not, or your sales are done correctly or not, or your product is good or not. So these are all a kind of indirect feedback that is given onto your business, right? So you have to clearly define what are the key metrics that I would use in order to assess my product or my business, right? So that is the other important thing. And last, it is unfair advantage, which highlights a unique advantage or barriers to entry and set up the business. So it's unfair advantage. Suppose, say for instance, let me give you a good example. Suppose I am the manufacturer of an AC. Okay, and I am located in a very hot place. My unit is placed in very hot place versus my unit placed in Shimla. Is there a difference? What is the difference? What is that? What is the difference? See, if I have my manufacturing unit in Simla and if I have my manufacturing unit in Sahara Desert.
Because the area in which the earth is very hot, they will buy more ACs, so we can able to reduce the transportation cost if you build the unit.
Because of the climatic conditions in Sahara Desert, definitely the demand for ACs is more. My unit is in same place. So I have an advantage of selling my product quickly with minimizing the other expenses. Is it true or not? So that is an unfair advantage I got because of the strategy or because of the location or because of the raw material available. These are all the possible conditions which will help or give you an additional advantage. So what is that unfair advantage I have? So these are the 9 blocks that you are supposed to fill for your venture, whatever venture that you have created. Hope all these 9 points are clear. Any question? Any question? Hope everybody understood? Okay, let me check. So here is an example given for Zomato. Okay, what is the problem statement given for Zomato? Lack of diverse food options, limited information about restaurants, and inefficient food delivery. So that is the problem statement for Zomato. And who are the customers? Food enthusiasts and busy professionals seeking diverse dining options. See, statements are very simple. You should know how to write such small statements. And what is the solution? We are providing a platform that connects users with a variety of restaurants and enables easy food discovery, ordering, and delivery. Right? Now, let us go with unique value proposition. Can you match them? Can you match the statement with the startup which is mentioning that USP? You have First Cry, Airbnb, Zoom, and Flyro. What is the USP for First Cry? Largest omni-channel brand for baby products. Very nice. What is the USP for Zoom? Simple and reliable video communication for everyone. Very nice. And what is for Airbnb? Wherever you go, we have a place for you, right? And the last one, solution for accessing new outfits without the burden of ownership is Flyro. So that is how you write your USP in a single statement. That statement should reveal what is the novelty you are adding in your solution. Okay? So don't write a paragraph. One small statement which can fit in that. That is enough. So here, what is the USP for Zomato? Discover and order from a wide range of restaurants effortlessly, all in one place. Right? Next, let us go with unfair advantage. Can you map? Can you map? Let us apply rule out. What would be the right option for Instagram? Network efforts, right? Good. What about Novartis? What about Novartis? Novartis patents? It's brand recognition and appeal. Okay? Next, how about OpenAI? proprietary technology. Very nice. How about Benz? How about Benz? It has lot of patents, right? If I say that I have devised one product which will tell what is the air pressure in tire and it is being taken by Benz. Enough. You got your patent commercialized because you have used the brand name of Benz and it is known for patents, right? And lastly, it is founder or team expertise. If I say that, let us say, Elon Musk has come up with a new product. Who is Elon Musk?
Tesla,
So
SpaceX.
you all know him, right? He is a role model for many youngsters. So if he says that I came up with a new product, will you not appreciate? Will you not think about targeting to buy that? Because it's a brand created by the expertise of that person, right? So this is an unfair advantage that you would get for your startup depending on how you are going to approach. Who are your collaborators? So whenever you want to release any product, you try to target the right person or right place where you have to. That becomes an unfair advantage of your startup. So what is the unfair advantage of Zomato? A vast network of restaurants, efficient delivery, personalized recommendations, and a user-friendly platform. So this is the unfair advantage of Zomato. Next, coming to the market channels. As I said, there are a lot of channels where you can always market your product. As I said, for marketing, social media, email marketing can be done, right? And then through radios or ads in TV, okay? And then pay-per-click advertisement. What is this pay-per-click advertisement? Whenever I click, right, my count keeps increasing. Okay, so that helps in increasing the rank of your product as well. And then retail outlets, sales partners, you can partner with somebody who is very good in sales. And then marketplaces. So if I am trying to come up with a new product which is aligned with a new fashion design of garment, where do I place it? In a mall, right? If I put it in a vegetable market, will you get? So you should have a right place, right? And then customer support, you can always provide customer support through help desk, live chats, emails, and if you have seen recently, every platform is supported with a chatbot. Why? They want to make it user friendly. They want to attract more people because there is a help system which can respond to them immediately. Okay. So for Zomato, what are the channels? It is as a mobile app, which is primary. You can also go through it through website, social media, newspapers, or PR marketing, phones, chat support, etc. These are all the channels through which Zomato is creating market. And then cost structure. As I said, what is the cost structure? Marketing. How do they acquire users? What do you mean by user acquisition? What is user acquisition? If I reach out to 100 people, will all 100 use Zomato to order food? They are not interested. Probably 10 are very enthusiastic. They want to try. So what is my conversion ratio there? Out of 100, I could acquire only 10 customers. So they have very good user acquisition. Technology platform. The platform is very user friendly. And then payment processing fee. It has given you a lot of options. Either you can pay on delivery, pay through GPay, or pay through bank. So it has given you many options. Suppose if it restricts only for one payment option, will you use it? Because there are a lot of payment means, through which I can always do my payment. If it doesn't support my payment option, I will not use it. So it has provided that payment options as well, and delivery partners are also very good. And also they provide rewards and incentives. Whenever you order more, for the next order it says you will be given 10% discount. Are you interested to buy again? Definitely yes. So it has understood how I can trap the customer's interest. And finally, the revenue streams, that is the commissions from the restaurants, they do get commission from the restaurants, the delivery fees, and charge to the customers, premium subscriptions whenever you subscribe. If I want quick delivery, I pay extra amount, take subscription for 1 month as a premier customer. So you're paying it. So those are all the secondary revenue channels for you. And also advertising revenues. So you might have seen even in Zomato, you will see some other advertisements popping up, right? So through that also I get my revenue. So these are all my secondary revenue channels. What are my primary revenue channels? The amount which I get from the restaurants, right? So hope this has given you a clear picture on how you can fill for your venture. Any questions? Am I boring? Yes? You want a break? Yes? Then quickly I will give you 10 minutes time. Fill this in your laptop, in the venture. I'll give you 10 minutes time so that we'll go with the next topic of it. There are few examples. If you want, you can see.
Break under. Breaker.
So along with that, there is a second segment which can be filled, which is aligned with what is the key metrics, as I said, what are the challenges that it would face, and also the secondary customer segment whom I can add, right? So in your business Canva model, along with the 9 segments, I'll show you. So you can see here, under problem you have existing alternatives. So you also, whenever you are writing the problem statement, if you want, I'll put this in your group. Okay. My system is voting. So along with the problem, you also have to mention what are your existing alternatives that are available, and also mention what are the key metrics based on which you are going to measure, and also who are your early adopters. What do you mean by early adopters? What do you mean by early adopters? Yes. I have listed my customer segment, and along with that I also have to mention my first customer who are going to quickly take up my solution. So who are those people also to be listed. So this completes your business Canva model.
అది ఖర్చు 1,00,000 రూపాయలు.
కంపెనీ
ఏదైతే వాడుతుంది అది నాది కాదు మంచిది.
మ్యాక్స్ కదా
అవుట్డేటెడ్ వాట్సాప్ అన్నది అప్డేటెడ్ వాట్సాప్.
జొమాటో అంటున్నా
యూస్ కూడా ఇస్తున్నాను
ఎవరో ఇస్తారు ఒకడు
ఒక్కడే నువ్వేనా రెండు రెండు షిఫ్ట్
లేదు.
So I have posted the business Canva model in the group. Probably when you are entering this exercise in your Barbell Foundation platform, you will not see this like this, but you will be asking some questionnaire. As you fill, you will find this to be completed. It is 6.2, I think. The journey activity is 6.2. So in 6.2, you have questionnaires to be filled, and as you fill all of them, this is what you're going to generate. Okay? So we will give you 10 minutes time. Will you complete that? Yes? Please go through those questionnaires. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you're fine, then we'll go with the next session.
ఆపినా